We have ourselves a brand new lineup of championship stadiums for the new season. Let's rank them from worst to best. For this season, it's goodbye to Craven Cottage, the Vitality, the City Ground, Oakwell, the Western Homes and Pride Park. And welcome to Turf Moor, Carrow Road, Vicarage Road, the DW, the New York and the Stadium of Light. Before we get into the rankings, let me just explain this is going to be a bit different. Last season, I tried to do this all very logically. I did categories and star ratings, and that was a completely pointless exercise because 99% of the comments back were just pure subjective emotional opinion. So I'm going to do the same. This list is purely my opinion, and it's based on how much I've enjoyed my visits to each stadium. I'm going to ask for your comments at the end, but if you really want to impress me, hit pause right now and comment your 24 stadiums ranked. And remember that number 24 is key. That is the number of stadiums in the league and the number of stadiums that I am ranking. If you only comment on the stadium of the team you support, then you're neglecting to discuss the other 95.83% of the stadiums in the division. Number 24, Turf Moor, Burnley. Now look, I usually find putting someone at the bottom of one of these rankings particularly heart-wrenching, but simply put, this is the only stadium in the Championship this year that I have never visited. So I can't really rank it, so that means I can get away with a nice softball at the bottom. You're too successful, Burnley, covering the Championship. I've never had the opportunity. I will head up there. I'm looking forward to my maiden Turf Moor voyage. But with that being said, having never been, call it unranked or call it 24, Burnley at the bottom. Number 23, the MKM Stadium, Hull City. I always saw this one as a bit of a depressing sort of political football that was always squabbled about and at the centre of the arguments between Assem Alam, the former Hull owner, and the Hull fans. Look, he's gone and the ownership has changed, but it's just wedged in there a little bit there. The top tier of the main stand always seems to be closed, and the car park is very, very bumpy, and I got stuck in there for ages trying to get out behind about 1 million Leeds fans last time I was there. Number 22, the DW Stadium, Wigan. Can be a little bit low on numbers there. And the last few times I've been, they've done this odd fencing off the front few rows, which I think takes the crowd out of the game a little bit. The away fans, if you're in the away end, have to drink in a sort of function room that makes me feel like I'm going to a wedding before the game too. Number 21, Ewood Park, Blackburn. Look, as much as I like the fact it's all a bit oldie-worldy mining territory and nice scenery up there, last time I went it was not very full at all, and the rival fans were stuck right up at the top tier behind the goal, which just killed the atmosphere a little bit, and it was absolutely bloody freezing too. Number 20, the Select Car Leasing Stadium, Reading. Say what you like about naming rights, but that is an awful name, isn't it? Always get a good view when I go there. Maybe that's because it's always quite easy to get a ticket, because it can be a bit quiet there. The car park is a slog. We're in bumpy, wet, muddy car park territory again. And for whatever reason, the comments will tell me, the midweek games are always at 8 p.m. rather than 7:45. And I get into bed really late and I need my beauty sleep. Number 19, Deepdale, Preston. Look, there's probably a bit of game bias here, but look, it's my list and I'll cry if I want to. But look, the only time I've been to Preston, myself and 12,000 others throws their backsides off on a Friday night to see Northend in a 0-0 draw with Derby County. I did see Ben Pearson at the petrol station afterwards, but that did not raise my spirits enough. Number 18, the Cardiff City Stadium, Cardiff. Look, nice big ground, modern ground, but another one where the main stand top tier often gets shut off, which is a cross in my book. Last time I went as well, I sat down in my seat and my ticket I'd been sold was a season ticket seat. So look, they did move me up into corporate, but I missed 5 minutes of the game, which has probably knocked them down the list a little bit. Number 17, the John Smith's Stadium, Huddersfield. This was a really innovative stadium back in the 90s, but I think I'm a bit biased because it was a bit of a bad trip up for the playoff semi-final very recently. You can't park anywhere near the ground. I had to walk up and over that huge hill. The beer queue literally would not move, and when I took my seat, wasn't advertised as restricted view, and I had to look through the little bit that stops people kind of leaning over the edge of the stand. So, sorry Huddersfield, not the best trip for the playoff semi-final. Although you did get to Wembley. Number 16, the Bet365 Stadium, Stoke. Can you do it on a wet Wednesday night in Stoke? It's true, everybody. It's absolutely true. Look, nice big ground right on the main road. But as I say, the rumours are true. I went there in lockdown in the empty stadium and I sat in the press box, which was miles up in the sky away from the pitch. And I promise, I have never known wind and rain like it. I know the players are very well paid, but I did feel very sorry for them. Number 15, the Swansea.com Stadium, Swansea City. Nice ground, very picturesque area, and I did see Paul Hurst's only win as Ipswich Town manager there. Look, it's a bit of a slog for me to get down there. Cardiff is a bit easier, let's just say. And I think it just suffers a little bit from that modern ground, Lego ground type thing. Number 14, Bloomfield Road, Blackpool. Oh, it's cold and windy up there and miles away. What I will say is a lot of people do choose that away game to go up on the Friday and have a bit of a weekend of it. It has been modernised a fair bit, but that away end is still full of posts, isn't it? Good vociferous home crowd, though, does bring a good atmosphere to the stadium. Number 13, the CBS Arena, Coventry. Again, a little bit like Hull, this stadium used to be a symbol of Coventry's awful off-pitch stuff with astronomical rents and having to go and play elsewhere. But things changed last season and that return back flipped the script. The Coventry fans were so happy to be back there. And I think the fact that they kept winning games in injury time really helped cultivate a great atmosphere at Coventry last season. If you're enjoying the video and you're not mortally offended by me saying something about your club's football stadium, then do hit that like button and support me and the channel. Number 12, the Hawthorns. Always enjoy going there. I don't quite like queuing to get off that main road at that last roundabout, or the fact that I can't really get a nice steep seat on halfway there because they don't really exist the way the stadium's structured, but it does still have that Premier League kind of sheen to it with the facilities, and it's always pretty loud in there, I have to say. Number 11, the New York Stadium, Rotherham. Now, I know this one's going to rub people up the wrong way, and lots of other people will have this much lower in the list because it is a small ground. But I actually think this is one of the few grounds that's actually the perfect size for the club, and that's why it's always pretty well full. And what I will say is I've been a few times and I've never had a bad seat because everything is so close in. They also let you buy your beer and take it out and drink it in the sunshine by the river if you're there in the summer. So I like it. Thumbs up from me. Number 10, Ashton Gate, Bristol City. Bristol's a nice place to visit, isn't it? I just like going there, I think. The club has done a great job as well. I remember going years and years ago and it looked very, very different. They've done a great job of modernising and developing that stadium, and I've really enjoyed the matchday experience the last few times I've been there. Number 9, the Riverside Stadium, Borough. Like Huddersfield, it was built in the 90s, so it kind of doesn't feel old or new now. You get that good old north-east noise up there, and look, if they can get a good start under Chris Wilder, get that stadium nice and full, I think it could be a great place to go to next season. Number 8, St Andrews, Birmingham. Okay, yes, I get it. It is literally falling down. We know that from the closures during large parts of last season, but I like the old school stadiums, and it is a big throwback where the camera position for the TV hardcam seemingly hasn't changed for absolutely decades. I was there for that infamous Birmingham Aston Villa game where the fan introduced himself, let's just say, to Jack Grealish, and it was noisy beyond belief. Proper old school stadium. Number 7, Loftus Road, QPR. You can see my taste here, can't you? I know I'm going to get stick for this one as well. Yes, posts in the way, even in the best seats for the home standing. Yes, hideous view from a lot of the seats in the away end. But I don't know, there's something about it. Central London, off the tube, and midweek games under the lights does seem to have a bit of a magic about it, in my opinion, of course. Number 6, Vicarage Road, Watford. It's got that Premier League sheen to it like a few of these stadiums in the division this year have. Right in the town like a stadium should be. I love the murals that have been painted all around the ground in recent years. And they've done a really good job of modernising but keeping enough of a nod to the past there. Do like going there. Number 5, Kenilworth Road, Luton. Look, I can almost hear the boos coming through the comments, but look, many regard the place as a complete dump. I get it, but there is no other stadium like it, let alone in the Championship, in the whole of the 92, I think. I can put up with the post. The road closures after the game do annoy me a little bit and having to walk all the way back around. But come on, if you want character, you can't do much better than the Kenny. Number 4, Carrow Road, Norwich. And again, I'll put my helmet on this one because as an Ipswich fan, I'm sure I'll get some grief for this. And I have to say, it's not been very much fun watching Ipswich there over the years. And that goal music certainly gives me PTSD. But look, they've modernised it very nicely with the Premier League. The screen is great. The pre-match stuff is great. And a trip that way means I do get to see my sister and my nephew for the day. Number 3, The Den, Millwall. Look, again, chalk, cheese, Marmite, whatever. I absolutely love going there and the people have always been absolutely lovely to me at the Den. A very unique atmosphere, very fiery at times, but they're very honest and they know what they want from their players. That Mill chant is absolutely superb. There's always a bit of good back and forth between the home and away ends. And I can even put up with all the Millwall fans smoking in the toilet as well. Number 2, the Stadium of Light, Sunderland. Oh, I've got to go back to when I first started going to away games for the reason I've got this one so high up in the list. This was a new build stadium and it was an absolutely fearsome visit. Sunderland never lost there for the first few years it was built. It's a little worn now, but it's definitely the biggest and it's probably going to be the most populated stadium and maybe the noisiest through this coming season. Welcome back, Sunderland and the Stadium of Light. Number 1, Bramall Lane, Sheffield United. Look, I'm going to ignore the fact that my car got broken into when I was there last season. It's an absolutely tremendous stadium, city centre, historic in terms of its age, and you can still see old bits of the terracing as you walk up the cop at the back there. Really, really noisy. Greasy chip butty thing is a great starter. My number 1, again I think, is Bramall Lane, Sheffield United. That concludes my rankings. Get involved in the comments. And if you're twitching and all emotional and outraged, I'm talking to you right now. Before you write that comment, remember, this list is completely subjective. Everyone's list will be different. And I am far more interested in hearing your favourite places to go than some attempt to convince me that my list is wrong. It's not. Nobody's list is wrong. Look, of course your club stadium is probably very, very special to you. And out of habit, you probably want to take a shot at your rival's stadium as well. But do try and comment on at least some of the other grounds. Else, it all gets a little bit predictable, doesn't it? Please stay with us on the channel and watch another video. You can click here for similar ranking style videos on the Premier League and Championship managers. One of the Championship managers may have been sacked since I've made this video, so we try our best to keep up with the times. And here is last season's stadium rankings, where I tried to do it logically, and you can probably see in the comments where I've given up this year.